Alright, I have my example function here, a CSV validator. It's a function that opens a CSV file, grabs the headers, and uh, expects each header to have a value. But what I'm missing here is that I don't have any like error handling. So I'm going to add this error handling to my first step there when I'm opening a file. And I guess what would happen if data is none? I guess I should have some sort of error handling there too. I'm thinking about, yeah, index error, type error perhaps. Great. And the next step, I'm going to leave it as is, right there. So what I have done here, I've like starting to clutter my little function here with some try-catch statements. And I'm not happy with that, so I'm going to begin by extracting each part of that function. So this parse function will like handle its own errors, and maybe I'll do that to that header extractor too. Yeah, get headers sounds good to me. Great. So I think I should have a return statement there, and maybe returned none if something bad happens. So I'm going to pass in the data and to get some headers. So while I'm at it, I'm going to extract this header validator too. So I'm passing in all headers, and I guess I should return true or false, something like that. Great, and I guess this is valid variable is the one I should return by the end. And I guess you have seen it already. I have introduced a bug at line 22. I'll fix that later. But what I want to do now is I'm going to use some code that I have written because I want to get rid of all that error handling. And instead, I'm going to use something called railway-oriented programming. And that is, I'm adding a decorator that will transform a function into a two-track function. So it will handle success and failure internally. So I've done that to these two functions. Maybe I will add that to that has valid errors too. Sorry, has valid headers. Yeah, I'll do that because I want to exit my program flow there if the result is true or false. And I better fix that bug too. So I'm going to use some sort of functional approach. I'm going to loop my headers and collect values, and if there isn't any false value in my list, then this is a successful function. Okay, so and I guess I could have left out that last decorator, but what if I would have continued my validation with like validating data rows and something like that. But what I get back from these wrappers is like a result that could mean that is has failed also. So I'm going to call a function that checks the result to transform that one into a boolean, just like it was before. So, but while I'm at my functional path here, I'm going to use a pipe function instead, because I want to do this as a one-liner instead of breaking it into separate rows like this. Okay, so let's investigate what happens behind these decorators. So behind the scenes, there is a try-catch that will return a fail object if something goes wrong. So that's our track wrapper. and it will transform a function into a true track. So if there is a fail object, it will just bypass that one and go on through the next one. And you can collect data in that fail, but in this case I don't care, just transform that one into true or false.